Hey guys, new comic book day for the week of March 1st, and we're back. I'm almost healthy, and Tim's almost healthy, and yeah, so that's good enough. Like,
we're coming at you with a solid 33.333%.
There we go. For all your math nerds, we're 16 point whatever percent of effort. That's what we got. So we're gonna get started right now.
All right, gang. Tim from Capes and Scowls and the comic book store, and I'm going to go through the trades that came out this week. But first, Dungeons & Dragons official role-playing soundtrack, Midnight Syndicate. This is a real CD. I have no idea where it came from, but it's real. It includes 21 tracks for you to slay demons with, and it has 2 bonus tracks, my favorite being Ruins of Bone Hill. I've never heard that song. I think it's the greatest song ever. I can't believe this is real, but come buy it. It's $10. You love it.
It's real.
All right, so after some rambling and much editing, we have... We're not doing that. All right, guys, here we go. We got Glitter Bomb, Volume 1, Jim Zub. We love Jim Zub. Why do we love Jim Zub?
Because he's awesome.
He is awesome.
And he likes us on Twitter.
He likes all of us. He's wonderful. So dreamy, that Jim Zub. Man can ride a thunderbolt, I'll tell you that. Death of X. X-Men book, so I don't like it. Wayward. Wait, this is Zub again. Man, if I was better at my job, I would have put those 2 books together. But I'm not. But man, let's talk about Zub again. Isn't he dreamy? Ding! Carnage USA. This got a new print. This was kind of cool. I remember reading this a little bit. I don't think I finished it, but the art's great if you like Clayton Crane, which I do. I know not everybody does, but some people are just wrong. Walking Dead, the new Walking Dead volume 27. Can you believe that? 27. Which will get you caught up to almost current. And then we got Lucifer, volume 2. I haven't been reading this. I can't tell you a ton about it. We have Karnak. That time Warren Ellis tried to do a monthly book and failed. It's probably great, but, it just took us, 3 years to get 6 issues of a trade. Jesus Christ. Suicide Squad. Paul loves Suicide Squad. It's all suicide-y and whatnot.
Because Jim Lee likes us too.
Jim Lee is great. He's not Zub great, though.
No,
Calling you out, Lee. Get on it.
Ooh.
What? I don't care. What's he going to do?
I'm trying to put heat.
He will. Why not? Controversy creates cash, Lee. Come at me. For some reason, Pat Lee's going to be mad at me. I'm like, I did it wrong. Titans! Titans! I know Paul likes Titans a lot as well.
I do.
It's not my wallet. I don't care what it says. Lumberjanes, Gotham Academy. This was a cool little crossover. I wouldn't have thought they would do this. I thought this was cool. I heard it was really great. And this book, I will read eventually. This looks really cool. Animosity. Has to do with animals, and they're all, smart and trying to murder people, but there's probably a reason, because, animals, they're like, God, let's murder all the people. I don't know. It looks cool. I like it. I'm a fan. All right, that's your trades that are out this week. Let's get this party started. Paul, take us home.
Up first, Papergirls issue number 12. Not a lot happens in this one. It's kind of a weird issue. We do find some new inhabitants on this world that they're stuck on. We are finally dealing with the girl that we can't understand. We can now understand again. So we have that. It's weird. If you're part of the series, you're going to pick this up because you want to continue reading with it. But nothing happens. There's really not enough here to deal with to what is going on. So it's definitely not one to pick up if you haven't read the series before. But if you are keeping up with the series, grab it.
All right, first up for me, we got... Wow, that was way too much energy. We've got Extremity, number 1. This is a Skybound Image comic, and it is by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. Maybe I assume it's Spicer. This book was awesome. I am debating putting this on my pull list. It was very well done. The art is amazing. Your basic premise of the story is you have 2 warring factions of people, and the good guys, the heroes that you're following, were uprooted from their home and lost their home to the other invaders. and it is the story of them trying to get revenge and take back this castle or this area that they were taken out of before that was considered their home. It is very violent once the action starts. It gives you all the backstory you need. It sets it up pretty well. You understand revenge as the motivation, and it is pretty gruesome. If you don't like violence, what is wrong with you? This book is amazing. Yeah, I may just add it to my list if I can decide what I'm going to drop. Something Marvel. All right.
Up next, Champions issue number 6, and I was worried that this was going to happen, and yes, once again, I now hate the book. Because Champions, for those who don't know, is written and skewed for millennials and it's a little bit younger generation, but it's supposed to be a hopeful book about basically making the world a little bit better than how the Avengers are doing it, basically doing it their own way, doing it the ways that they think are going to be right. So, of course, if you're following that logic, the next big enemy of the Champions is going to be, yes, you guessed it, rich people, people who are well off and things. There's an evil corporation creates an anti-Champions group, and there's all kinds of terrible things that are happening, and people bashing anyone well off, and hobo fighting at some point. Because when you're a horrible rich person, what do? You get poor people to fight for you, because that's how things actually work. If you've loved this series, pick it up. This one kind of turned me off on it. I'm not a fan of this particular issue, or really the direction it's going to be going, at least for a couple of issues to deal with the aftermath of this new team coming on. We'll see how it goes, but I've never been that whole concept of punching up because people are punching down kind of thing. It doesn't really solve anything. Basically just pisses up more people off. So,
all right, guys, I got a lot of complaints that I didn't talk about this book for a while, and I know how much you love Moon Knight. So we're going to talk about Moon Knight. Moon Knight issue 12. This book, like I've said in the past, is still extremely confusing. It's not that you don't understand what's going on. You can grasp it. You just don't understand what is actually happening that they're not showing you. You get to see what he's imagining, which is a crazy, crazy world. I assume that's not what is actually going on. This book is part 3 of 5 of the current story arc. Maybe by the end of it we'll have a better idea. But basically, in the last couple issues, Mark worked to get rid of his other personalities. He's trying to become whole and not rely on his multiple personality disorder to get out of scenarios. So what happens? He's trying to get back, was it Anthat, Anubis's wife, from the evil Egyptian people, and in exchange for Crowley's life. It's so confusing. The fact that I can remember half of this. So basically, he goes and he's about to lose, and his other personalities reappear and help him fight for Crowley. It's a pretty interesting story. The best part of the story, in my opinion, is the flashback scenes where they actually show you a major Moon Knight character returning for the first time since Secret Wars. I really enjoyed it. The flashback was my favorite. The other stuff is still good, but until it gets there, I don't know what's going on. But it's a fun ride, and yeah, Moon Knight. Why aren't you reading Moon Knight? You are reading Moon Knight.
last up, we have Rat Queens, issue number 1. Rat Queens is back, or it's kind of back. The art wasn't great in this one, and we're dealing with almost a defanged kind of Rat Queens. One of the things that I loved about the original series was the complete and total irreverence and how everybody was rude to each other and just like completely unfiltered. This feels like a PG-13 version of that. And that takes away a lot of the joy of the book, of the original series. It's a soft reboot. So what you've read in the past, if you have read the original Rat Queens, some of that does come into play here. So it's not necessarily a full reboot, but it's not a continuation of the series either. And I'll probably check out a couple more issues, but I was really underwhelmed about bringing the series back, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it just didn't have the same feel that the original series did. So if you really, really love Rat Queens and you really want to see how this one goes, pick it up. Otherwise, you can kind of pass on it unless you're trying to find a flyer or something like that and you're just looking for something new to try. Give it a try, but if you haven't read the Rat Queens, you might not see the flaws that I see.
All right, guys, this may be the pick of the millennia. This book's so great. You ready for it? You're not ready for it. It is AMERIKARATE by Action Lab. AMERIKARATE is exactly what it sounds like. Your main character looks like Flash Gordon. He does, in fact, put a cassette into to do a montage. It's everything 80s. Everything 80s. Thrown into one amazing package. And all I can say is your main character goes to town with his brother's interesting. He lost both his arms and both of his legs in a karate fight, so he carries him around in a knapsack, and he puts him on hooks on doors and things, so yeah, he carries his brother around in his backpack. So he goes to the town of Baconville, where karate is outlawed, and he has to leave his nunchucks at the town, Paul's losing it, at the town sign. And he goes and gets a drink, and he gets into an altercation, but he does not fight with karate. And they show up, and then you find out why kung fu and karate and all these martial arts are banned from the town. And of course, he has to make that decision. Do I go back? This place is great. My brother likes it. There's beer. There's women. This place is great, but I can't do karate. This is amazing. This is just fan service of 80s. This is just insane, and you should love every second of it. Look at it. Look at it.
And trade recommendations are back. So we have Seven to Eternity by Rick Remender and Jerome Opeña. This series is amazing. It is drawn out in a futuristic world where a group of aliens has lost a very large battle, and we are dealing with this family that is pushed to the outskirts of everything because they refuse to bend at the knee to the new king and all the problems that happen with it. They kind of lived in peace, and then the war comes back to them, and they're the family's thrust back into this war and the struggle that's happening between the Mud King and everybody else. It's a great series. I will say that you should pick up the trade and not the individual issues because it's a slow burn. There are things that happen in the first couple issues, but we don't really know how the series is going to go until about the third issue. And the third issue is where everything really starts to ramp up, and where even the title makes sense, because the title doesn't even tend to make sense until that third issue. So they took their time with this one. It's worth it, but again, I would do this in trade form because individual issues you might lose the massive amount of world building that they're doing here. This is reading kind of like a graphic novel, but not like your regular graphic novels. It's almost novel form. Like we are talking like Lord of the Rings style world building and Sword of Truth kind of world building. Like these amazingly sprawling areas. And you're learning more and more about the background of the story and the people, as well as the current story. So it is well done. I highly suggest picking this one up. However, I will caveat and say, pick this up in trade form only, at least for the first one, to see if it's something you like, because, again, the first couple issues are a slow burn. We don't really know what direction the story is going, and you're going to need to really see that before you make up your mind. So, we have a giveaway coming up. We haven't had a giveaway in a little bit, so we're going to be doing this one. We're going to change up the rules just a little bit because we want to make sure that everybody is seeing our reviews. So, the first rules are, make sure you follow our page, follow Capes and Scowls page. Make sure to subscribe to both. Like this video and then comment with a recommendation that you've seen. Once we get to 10 entrants, we will give away an issue of 7 to Eternity. If we don't, then it'll roll over till next week. So I want to make sure that you guys are sharing everything and telling everything about it. We realized the last time some of our contests, they didn't really help if you guys actually told friends about it, because then you diluted your chances of winning, and that kind of defeated the purpose of the channel. So that's what we have now. So once we get 10 entrants, we will be giving away a copy of 7 to Eternity. So make sure you enter, make sure you tell your friends to enter, and get this amazing book. The art is amazing on it. I love the art. The storytelling is beautifully done. If it is a slow burn, but it's still beautifully done, and it is worth picking up. That's what we got, guys. We appreciate everybody coming back week to week. I'm sorry we weren't here last week, but everyone was sick with something. As you can still hear my voice, I'm still not 100%, but we got there. So thanks again, guys. Thanks to our Patreon fans. Thanks to all the people that come here week to week. We truly appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week.